Hello, everyone. How was your weekend? Mine was great. So, what we're going to chat about today is something that has come up a few times, for me anyway, over the last few months, whenever I've played tabletop Warhammer. What are your thoughts, ladies and gents, on 3D printing your Warhammer minis? Okay, so I'm going to go through my thoughts on it. I'm going to show you some examples. Some are shit, some are great, whatever. Um, and yeah, we'll have a chat about that, and then I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. So context. Yesterday, which was the 19th of October 2025, I played two Warhammer games. One was a 2K game, and then followed by a 500 point King of the Colosseum game. If you don't know what that is, go and check out the YouTube channel Play on Tabletop. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description for them, and look at King of the Colosseum. Great, great game. So during the 500 point one, and I'll put a photo that I got up here. I put it on TikTok, but I'll put it somewhere up here. In this photo, you'll see some minis that are painted black and some that are painted red. So the black ones are all um, world eaters, my world eaters. Okay, so they are all ready for their gold trim. So here's one guy. Okay, here's one guy ready for his gold trim or whatever. So all of mine yesterday were painted black, and in that photo you'll see that. The red ones were my friend's Space Marines. Okay, he's styling them after the Blood Ravens from Dawn of War One, and all of them, with the exception of all of them in that photo anyway, are resin 3D printed. Okay, when you look at them closely, you can see that the scale is a bit off, the proportions as well. So they're slightly too big in some places, and then they one thing they suffer with is a really some of them have a really narrow waist. And it got me thinking. I was like, huh, I wonder what the community thinks of this because I keep hearing mixed views. So what I wanted to do today was have a chat about it and show you some examples of recreated 3D printed minis. Is a guy over here. Now this was created using a FDM printer, which is that one there. Okay, not great for tiny quality and not great for smooth lines. Okay, so you can see on this model if you look close enough the layer lines where the FDM printer has layered plastic on or whatever. So this guy is a great unclean one, and the print was not great, especially with the way that the supports ended up snapping off. They've kind of ruined his mouth here. It's really odd. And then it was painted by me in about 20 minutes, so it's also a shoddy paint job, which doesn't help. Okay, this guy here is one of the resin ones, uh, and the quality of this guy's like about 70% done with paint. The quality is indistinguishable. Okay, so I got him for about £14 with his 3 bodyguard unit. That's Lord Felthius or something like that from the Death Guard. Normally their kit I think is about 50 quid. I got him and his 3 bodyguards for about 15 quid, something like that. It takes about 3 weeks to get here, but 15 quid. So it's great, a great value for money. The reason I bring this up is because I wanted to just find out your thoughts on it and talk about mine. So the main benefits of 3D printing, the biggest one is cost. So we're talking about getting them from reliable sources. Now, um, I got mine from a website called War Table Games or War Table Gaming, something like that, which is located in China. They are legit. They don't look legit, but they are legit. I promise you, they are. That's where I got these guys from, and I spent about £22 just to be safe. And yeah, everything turned up. One of my other friends bought a load of the he's bought two of the custody tanks, the grav tanks, because you can't buy them at the moment. They're only in resin form and they're about 150 quid a piece. He got two of them for 50 quid from this place. 3 weeks to arrive, but they're great, fantastic. Okay, unfortunately the price for Warhammer does kind of gatekeep the hobby a bit. I can understand the price for something like at My Angron, which you guys have seen in a previous video, or Mortarion, or some of the bigger guys. Like, I actually kind of like my Brutalis Dreadnought, this guy here. Um, I don't mind paying. So this guy was about 45 quid or something. I don't mind that. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and I do respect that not everyone has that, especially if you need to get enough to play a big game. Okay, so 2,000 points um, of Warhammer is going to cost you a fair bit. As discussed in a previous video, I got two of these well, I got one of these combat patrols for World Eaters, and then one of the previous one, and then an old one, and Khan the Betrayer, who's currently up here, and three Exalted Eight Bound, and something else which I've forgotten about. Lord Invocar, no, not Lord Invocatus, the Slaughterbound. So I got those five, and it was about 1,300 points at most. That's still not enough off, but I spent about 300 quid, I think it was, or 320 quid, something like that. Okay, so it's a lot of money, and it's still not 2K. Yeah, I know you can play smaller games, but as far as I'm aware, the game is balanced around 2K, so it's different. Kill Team, the smaller one, it's different. It's 50 quid for the kill team, or you and your mate can go halvesies on the starter kit, which is 150 quid or whatever, and you get terrain. So that's okay. That's different. I think 75 quid for each to get into a hobby is reasonable. It's definitely cheaper than airsoft. So it's um it's that thing. Now the bad thing about it is, as far as this is all from my knowledge and my experience. This is not fact. This is just from what I've heard. From my knowledge and experience, you can't use obvious 3D printed minis if you want to play at a tournament. Now, when I say tournament, not every tournament is really sweaty and try-hardy, from what I understand. It's just a competition. It can be friendly, be a friendly competition. But as far as I'm aware, you can't take them to that and use them. So that's one downside. You do get the loudmouth mouth breathers of every community who go, I'm not playing against you, you've got 3D, but who fuck cares? With Warhammer, as far as I'm concerned, most of mine, like 99% of mine, is all legit. So it's it's an art project. You're proud to, you spent a decent amount of money on these things. You want them to look awesome. Like Angron for me, I got Angron from a friendly local game shop that actually did friendly local game store prices. So he was about 80 quid. Mortarion was the same. And I actually put, like I put effort into doing them because they're like art pieces. So I have a 3D printed proxy of Angron here that I found on the internet. Like, my opinion on the matter is you can do what you want. Really, I'm curious to hear what you guys' opinion is. My opinion is you do what you want. Uh, I don't really care either way. It's more about the behaviour of the individual. So if they are 3D printing just to be able to counter what you've, so if I bought 10 intercessors, 40 quid, and they decided to go, you know what, I'm just going to print some anti-infantry models and then just spam them. Like that sort of combative behaviour is a bit. I don't know. I know that you're perfectly entitled to do it, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Ultimately, it's do what you want, but keep your friends informed. Like, if you want to print stuff, make sure everyone's happy. They should be. Only dickheads are gonna really complain. But I digress. So yeah, have a. What do you think? Should we be allowed to 3D print? Yeah, you can get your own FDM printer if you want, like the one behind me, and print this geezer. Um, if you want to. I mean, he's a damn side cheaper than the real one. The real one is about 85 quid from a friendly local game store. This guy probably cost me a fiver to print. Took about 24 hours, but I think it took me about, yeah, I think it was about 5 quid's worth of filament. Um, and he's very good. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your time. I'm sorry for the long one. I'm sure some of this will get cut out. But yeah, have a good one.